This is your week in farming with me, Chris Brayford. On the episode, we're going to be looking at how the Environmental Land Management Scheme's budget is set to be cut at the spending review by Chancellor Rachel Reeves, the impacts that inheritance tax changes are having on farm widows, and farm business closures have hit almost 2,000 this year. So farmers have warned that cuts to the budget for environmental land management schemes, ELMs, will mean the government is effectively giving up on its own environmental targets. NFU President Tom Bradshaw said the farming organisation is now seeking urgent clarity from DEFRA after leaks from the government have revealed that Chancellor Rachel Reeves could make cuts to the nature-friendly farming budget at the spending review on June the 11th. Farmers Guardian understands that cuts to the scheme could include provisions which make it more difficult for large farm businesses to access nature-friendly farming incentives, with smaller farm businesses targeted for support instead. Now, Mr. Bradshaw said that farming is resilient and innovative, but if promises from the government that farmers would be partners in doing environmental good have been reneged on, it will leave farmers prioritising economic returns and balancing tough choices between farming the land as hard as they can just to make a living and continuing to focus on environmental works that they've been proud to deliver. If this is a move away from the principle of public money for public environmental goods towards a more socially focused policy, it is misjudged because farms of all sizes have a critical role in helping deliver for food, nature and climate, Mr. Bradshaw added. And in other news, widows are struggling to plan and save their farms from inheritance tax changes. MS for Arthur Sian Gwenllian told Welsh Parliament, the Senate, on May the 23rd that Chancellor Rachel Reeves' autumn budget changes to agricultural property relief and business property relief had placed farm widows in a difficult position regarding how to keep and save their family farm businesses protected from a disproportionate tax bill. Ms Gwenllian said, "At the end of April, I asked the First Minister, Eluned Morgan, about an issue that had been brought to my attention by constituents on the disproportionate impact of the changes to inheritance tax on farm widows, given the changes to relief. This is because the deceased husband's tax relief would not be transferred to the widow in order to provide double relief at the time of the widow's death. These families, and there are many of them in my constituency, have therefore missed out on opportunities to plan their estates and to draw up wills that would provide assurances to their children for their future, and therefore assurances for the future of these family farms." And lastly, concerns are growing as farm business closures have hit almost 2,000 this year. So less than half of agricultural businesses which have closed their doors this year are being replaced by new entrants, according to new research. Published in its latest Business Births and Deaths Index, Synergy Bank said in the first quarter of 2025, just 805 new agricultural businesses were created, compared to 1,890 closures. It said the figures taken from the Office of National Statistics, data covering January to March, highlighted a worsening trend for the industry, even before the impact of April's national insurance rise and impending inheritance tax changes. Nick Fahey, Chief Executive at the bank, said the results were very, very concerning. He added, "With less than half of closing agricultural businesses being replaced, farmers are grappling with rising costs, labour shortages and the looming spectre of inheritance tax changes. It is concerning to see new businesses employing fewer and fewer staff, and the turnover of closing or relocating firms is at an all-time high. And that was your week in farming. Don't forget to subscribe to Farmer's Guardian and keep up to date with all the latest news similar to the ones that I've just mentioned by following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, and by visiting us at farmersguardian.com. Have another great week, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.